If you want to handle meetings with Alter, this is the video to watch. I'm going to show you the full workflow. We'll start with the setup, then meeting detection, recording, live features, and then what happens after the meeting ends, like transcripts, reports, and automation. You also get what to do when something fails. So by the end of this video, you should have a clear idea of the best way to use Alter for meetings from start to finish. The main idea is simple. Handling meetings in Alter is not just about pressing record. There is a full system. First, you make sure your setup is good. Then Alter will be able to detect meetings automatically, or you can start one manually, or in-person meetings, for example. During the meeting, you have live tools, live captions, and live Notepad. After the meeting, you get the transcript, you can fix speakers if needed, generate a report, and automate what happens next. Let's start with the voice processor. First, open the Alter settings, and then go to the voice tab. This is important because the quality of the transcript starts here. If you choose the right voice processor, everything becomes here. So forget the Apple processor or the normal Whisper. It's too slow for meetings. It's only for dictation. For meetings, the main one to look at is a local press processor with Parakeet V3. That's the one you need to try first. Go with the smallest one. That's the smallest memory footprint. The reason is simple. If the transcript is better from the start, you will spend less time fixing things later. And results are not good enough, you can also try another voice processor, like the cloud one, in some cases. For example, if your language is not supported well by Parakeet V3, or if you want to compare the results, then switching can make sense. But the main point is you need to start with Local Plus because this is the most powerful voice processor, and this is the only one with live capabilities. Before recording any meeting, check your audio setup. This is basic, but it matters a lot. You want to make sure the right input device is selected. You also want to check that your mic level is good. If the audio is weak or the wrong device is selected, the meeting may still record, but the result will not be good. So this is one of the first things to do with Alter. And before an important meeting, do a quick audio check. That save you a lot of time later. Do so, start a meeting record, and check your meeting audio input level. And you can change things here. And you can switch your input device here. You can also change your input device directly in the menu bar. Now, let's talk about the normal workflow. Most of the time, you do not need to start the meeting record. Alter can detect meetings automatically. This is very cool for most users because it removes friction entirely. You join the meeting, sees that the meeting started, and it can also detect when the meeting ends. This is great because you do not need to think about starting and stopping everything manually. So for many people, this should be the main workflow. Of course, automatic meeting detection is something you can customize. If needed, you can go into the settings in the voice tab and check how meeting detection is configured by clicking automation. For example, you can adjust which apps Alter is monitoring for meetings. Let's say I want to remove Microsoft Edge. This matters if your setup is a bit different or if you use specific apps often. So the idea is not just that Alter detects meetings. The idea is that you can tune this so it fits your workflow better. Another important part here is calendar context. This is useful because it gives Alter more information about the meeting. It helps connect the recording to a real event with real people at the right time. And that becomes useful later for matching speakers and finding things again. So calendar context is not just a small extra, it makes the whole workflow cleaner, and you can choose the calendars right here. Now, automatic detection is great, but sometimes you want to start a meeting manually. Maybe it's a quick call, maybe the meeting was not scheduled normally, or it's an in-person meeting, and that is totally fine. Just click the menu bar and start meeting recording. Or on the control block, start meeting recording, and you even have a global shortcut. So manual start is there when you need it. So the simple rule is use automatic detection most of the time and use manual start when the meeting does not fit the normal path. During the meeting, one useful feature is live captions. Start a meeting and start live caption by going into the menu bar, clicking live panels and toggle captions. This helps you follow what is being said in real time. This is useful if the meeting is fast or if the audio is not perfect, or if you just want more clarity while people are talking. So this is not only something for later, it already helps during the meeting itself. And you have several settings to play with the captions, like the font size. Then you have live Notepad. Start a meeting again, live panels, toggle Notepad. And this is a feature I think is really important. The best way to see it is as a live meeting helper. While the meeting is happening, you can write things down, highlight key points, or ask questions about what's happening. This means you do not need to let the AI take all the notes for you. You can steer it on what matters. It also means that if you didn't understand something, you can get an explanation right away. Before generating a meeting report, it can make sense to review the transcript in the hub. This is where you can check speaker matching and clean things up if needed. Alter does speaker separation automatically, so it tries to identify who is speaking during the meeting. That works for online meetings and offline recordings too. Here, you can edit speakers, fix transcript issues, and merge parts, remove bad sections, and improve the final results. So let's take a look. You have matching against the calendar events, and it's automatically changing here below, but you can also edit the transcript directly. You see the details of the calendar events, you have the timeline, you can change pretty much everything. You can even do advanced search to replace in bulk by replacements. So that step matters because a better transcript gives you a better report, of course. One interesting part here is speaker matching. Alter is using a meeting context like your calendar that you can change here to help match speakers to real people. So this is another reason why calendar context helps. There is also an experimental option where Alter tries to infer speakers from the conversation using AI. You do not need to go deep into that right away. The main thing to understand is simple. Alter is not only separating voices, it's also trying to help you turn those voices into actual people. And when that works well, the transcript becomes much more useful. Once the transcript looks good, you can generate the meeting report. This is the second big phase of the workflow. First, you get the transcript, then you turn that transcript into a report. In Alter, this is not fully automatic by default. You run the meeting report action, and then Alter creates it for you. And this is where the meeting becomes much easier to use. Instead of reading the full transcript again, you get a more useful output with the main point, decision, and follow-up. Now, what is powerful here is that the meeting report itself is customizable. You are not locked into only one format. If you go into the action editor, you can change how the report is generated. You go into the built-in section, meeting reports, and here you can duplicate the action in order to change the prompt, and you can adapt the output. You can make it fit your own workflow better. For example, you may want one kind of report for yourself and another one for customers or another one for your team, and this one could be yours. And this is where Alter becomes much more flexible than a standard meeting app. And now we get to one of the most powerful parts, automation. If you go to automation, you have a schedule here of type New Transcript. On New Transcript, you can make things happen automatically when a new transcript is ready. And this is a big deal. Because instead of manually doing the same steps after every meeting, you can build a workflow once and let it run every time if you're happy about the result of your action. For example, you can generate reports automatically. You can create different kinds of analysis. You can save results somewhere else. You can trigger multiple actions from the same transcript. And this is really where Alter becomes much more than a recorder. It becomes your system. This is where things become very powerful. I can create a second action. And so from one transcript, you can create different output for different needs. For example, you could create one internal report with more detail, then another report made for your customers, and then maybe another analysis about meeting efficiency, action items, or team follow-up. So one meeting does not need to lead to only one result. You can use the same transcript in multiple ways. And that level of customization is a big strength in Alter. Another important point, back-to-back meetings. If you have many meetings in one day, you do not want to wait for one transcription or report to finish before starting the next recording. Let's start a meeting here. And that is important because real work does not pause between meetings. Let's stop this one. And I can start another one right away. So Alter is designed to handle that workflow too. You can start a new recording even if another one is still processing. If you live in meetings all day, this matters a lot. Now, let's talk quickly about troubleshooting. Because meetings involve audio transcription, processing, automation, a few things can go wrong. The first place to check is always audio, of course. Make sure the input device is correct. Make sure the audio level is good. Alter can also warn you if the audio is too low to transcribe properly. You'll get a notification. So if something feels off, check that first. Then, if there is a bug or crash, please send a report right away. Do not think it's happening for everyone. Every report's help. If something goes wrong with a recording, you may still be able to recover it. For example, the recording may exist, but the transcription may have failed. So one thing to check is whether the recording file is still there. And there is two places to check. First, our recent recordings menu. Click here, and you have recent recordings here. And also your temporary folder as a very last option. If the file is here, you can save that file by clicking it and drop it back into Alter to run the transcription again. This is important because it means a failed pass is not always a lost meeting. Sometimes you just need to rerun the next step. This also means you can import existing audio or video files into Alter. So if you have recordings on your device, you can drop them into Alter and get transcripts from them. So this is very useful if you are moving from another workflow, or if you just want to process files you already have. The only thing to keep in mind is to stay reasonable with batching, especially if you are using our local voice processor. If you drop too many large files at once, especially long ones, you are putting a lot of load on your device. So yes, you can do it, but do it in a smart way. Last thing, managing transcripts over time. You need to be able to find them again. And in Alter, you have quick ways to search and find transcripts back, including by keyword and people in the meeting. You can either click the icon here, or you can type directly the special character. And it also works in the hub. If you want, you can copy transcript to a folder on your device. So let's look how we can do that. So in automation, you can copy new transcript to folder. So this is especially useful if you use something like Obsidian. It's automatically in Markdown format. So you can have your transcript saved into your target folder in your Obsidian vault. So this is it, the full meetings workflow in Arthur. You start with the voice processor, you check your audio, you can use automatic meeting detection when possible, you can start manually when you need it, you have live captions and live notepad that you can use during your meeting. It's optional, but it's very cool. And then you have all the tools to review transcripts, fix speakers if needed, and generate reports, and automates all the steps coming after that. And if something goes wrong, you can recover recordings, import files, and still keep the workflow moving. If you understand this part, you have pretty much everything you need to handle meetings well with Arthur. See you guys.